Brewing. All right, Bill.
Looking
the Red
for
Sox
it now.
are sifting through
I'll send it to you later.
garbage. Let me just lay out what they've done, what they potentially could do, and we'll go from there. Of course, and Bill's opening take somewhat laid out the latest deal, the deadline deal, if you would, as the MLB owners locked out the players at midnight on Wednesday. The Red Sox snuck in a deal that says
so bad, dude.
I'm trying to take the opposite side of this to have a good show, but it's getting harder and harder the more I talk about it. The Red Sox are trading Hunter Renfroe for Jackie Bradley Jr. and two prospects, one of which landing about 16th in your Red Sox farm system right now. Last year, Jackie Bradley Jr. hit 163. He has this year coming up will be paid $9.5 million. He has a team mutual option for next year for $12 million and $8 million buyout. Hunter Renfroe was $7.5 million. Let's just stick on this before we get into the other moves here, because I know, Bill, you're hot and heavy on it. Let me just give you a little bit of language on these two prospects that you paid for. Basically, like we talked in our checks chain today, paid $8 million for. And Chaim Bloom basically came out and said it. He said, I basically went out and bought two prospects, and we can hash this out a little bit more, but let me just give you a little bit on these prospects because I think that's important for this deal. So this is out of a couple of scouts across Major League Baseball. Quote, I mostly heard good things about Pinellas. That's the corner infielder, power hitting corner infielder, and Hamilton, the other prospect they got, a speedy shortstop who has a knack for getting on base. On Pinellas, one source said he has plus power, but there's a lot of work to do defensively. And on Hamilton, one evaluator said his control of the strike zone is really incredible. So those are the two guys you got back in addition to Jackie Bradley Jr. for Hunter Renfroe. Bill, I got your take. Let me just give you yours to push back a little bit. I don't hate it. Basically, what you're doing is you're swapping out Hunter Renfroe for Jackie Bradley Jr. I get it. JBJ sucks. It was hard to listen to the Red Sox brass tell us how fucking awesome this guy was for 8 years, the last 3 of which we expected him to get dealt, but he's not going to hit 163. That's an aberration. So people are going a little bit overboard saying that. He's a 239 hitter. He's a 239 hitter in Fenway, and that's where he's going back to. He'll hit 240, 16 home runs, and 65 RBIs. That's the guy he has always been.
240?
That's the guy he's always been.
Oh,
the last time he was in Boston, he was better than that. Last time he was
60 games. Fuck off. He can't play. He can't play. You move from the American League East.
He can't play. He had one atrocious season the first time he left Boston. What do you mean he can't play?
He sucks. He can't fucking play. Do you want me to spell it out? Can't.
Yeah, I keep hearing you say that. What part of him can't play?
He can't hit. You're paying $12 million. He's $12 million this year, plus an $8 million buyout. You're paying $20 million for a bench guy. It looks better if you could bring Schwarber back and maybe play him in the outfield. That looks better. But again,
2 things. I keep hearing from you guys, you're the Boston Red Sox, go spend some money. Who gives a fuck about the money? Who gives a fuck if you're
I give a fuck when you're I give a fuck when you're 3, maybe 4 pieces away from winning a World Series based off what you did last year. Realistically.
So then it's not. So hold on, Bill.
Starter,
let me finish because it's
a bullpen
not
guy
million.
and a bat.
Because Hunter Renfroe was going to make 7.5. So and he's making 9.5 this year. So the difference is actually 2. So take your 20 and get the fuck out of here. They paid $8 million for the prospects. Get that.
It doesn't matter. They're still paying $20 million to Jackie fucking Bradley.
Okay, so this
Jr.
is going to be your whole point. I'm going to mute you if you just keep saying the same shit over and over because you're not making any points. Jackie Bradley Jr. is one of however you want to frame it, he's still one of the best defensive players in the league. Put onus on that or not, you don't have to. I don't put a lot into it. Hunter Renfroe was out in right field and didn't cost the Red Sox a whole lot of games. Cost him a couple. He had the most errors in fucking baseball, by the way. He was kind of a hack out there, and he was as streaky as Jackie Bradley Jr. He just hits for more power. Go look at the rest of his career. He's a low average guy that hits for 26 to 30 home runs. That's what he was going to do. He's going to take a step down this year. I guarantee it. Jackie Bradley Jr. to Hunter Renfroe is a drop off. Sure. It's not as drastic a drop off as people want to make it out to be. Number 1. Number 2, there's 2 things I think people are getting mad about. 3. The first one is the name. People are sick of Jackie Bradley Jr. I agree with you. It feels like a step back. It feels like you're taking a step back with the Red Sox. Number 2 is the way that Chaim Bloom and baseball is approaching the game, which is
making me so angry.
Which is just not the way we want to see it being played. That's the other thing. I forget the third thing. Those are the two things that you're mad about. It's not the actual deal. It's not the actual deal. Like there's the marginal difference of what this is going to be. What Renfroe will give you compared to JBJ and what the money is minuscule. You're just mad about the name, and you're mad that they haven't spent money on someone else yet.
Mm-hmm. If you're moving Hunter Renfroe again, he just had one of almost a career year, 30 home runs, batted 260, hit 96 RBIs. The return for Hunter Renfroe could have been an impact player for this year. Jackie Bradley at $9.5 million of real money is not a fucking impact player this year. The biggest reason, I heard definitely a rumor that it was Corden liked him and wanted him gone. And that was, you know what I mean? That was a big thing.
So good. He's your manager. You should have.
Which I'm fine, dude. I've said trade Hunter.
Sucked in the playoffs. He was atrocious, historic, as bad as Jackie Bradley was in the regular season. That's how bad Hunter Renfroe was in the postseason for you. He fucking.
Can I ask you
sucked.
a question? So based off the season he had last year, I know throw the postseason out. So Anthony Rizzo went for prospects, right? And then this guy goes for Jackie Bradley. What would you rather have? Would you rather go for more prospects if
you got prospects? Are you forgetting the prospects you got in this deal?
I want an impact prospect, not guys that just fill fucking AAA and AA rosters.
Name me the prospect that went to the Yankees, that went to the Cubs for Anthony Rizzo.
I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
Exactly. Where's his fucking impact? My point is, I'm not head over heels for this deal. I think the Red Sox. I don't know if you lost. I don't know if the Brewers won. Like, is Hunter Renfroe the big fucking prize? Is he a big fish people are going after?
It's just the fact of the return. That's what it is. It's you're getting Jackie Bradley back. That's the thing. You know what he hit against right-handed pitching, which he's a lefty, which should be a specialty. You know what he hit against right-handed pitching last year?
160, I think.
161. What is it? He batted better against left-handed pitching. It's pathetic. They benched him. He had 354 at bats. Again, if the luxury tax goes up, which is rumored to go up, and we're going to get to it later, but if it goes up, oh yeah, sure. But if you see the guys, the contracts are going out that are impact players now, it's like you're trying to build for 23 and 24 when you're 2 to 3 pieces away from winning a World Series this year. And I'm sorry, Marcus Stroman go to the fucking Cubs on 3 for 3 years.
We'll get to it. I just wanted to stick on this one deal first, and it's like if Jackie Bradley Jr. sucks, then fine, give him the Rusney Castillo treatment, and go and you waste $9 million. Who gives a shit? Again, you're the Red Sox, right? I don't know.
Yeah, but you're the Red Sox, and you're saying $9 million, but usually, like in years past, it'd be the Yankees, the Red Sox, maybe the Dodgers, all vying for the top free agents because we have the most money to spend. We haven't spent money in this is the third season coming up right now that we haven't spent any real money in getting a big free agent star. It's the Tampa Bay Rays DNA right now. That's what we're doing. We're going bargain.
The Tampa Bay Rays were just in the fucking World Series.
Yeah, but that's not what we're used to with the big no-name players.
Can I hold on? Do you know where Chaim Bloom came from before he worked in Tampa?
Tampa Bay.
No, do you know where he worked before that?
Was it Detroit?
Fangraphs.
Oh,
the website. Oh. That's it.
Bill, either turn down your mic or get off your mic. This is the two things you're mad about. You're mad about the way baseball is being managed and played.
Oh, and I'm mad at you for yelling at me.
Turn it up. Turn your mic up. And you're mad that Jackie Bradley Jr. is now in a Red Sox. It's not about the actual mechanics of it all. And we've been bitching at this team that through all the success of the John Henry era, the 4 World Series, we still don't like this ownership group because it's too up and down. It never feels like there's a concrete building block. We always complain about that. And now you have a guy that is 2 games away from the World Series, is also taking your farm system from 24 to top 10, and is continuing to build your farm system while putting out a product on the field. And we want to fucking yell at him because Jackie Bradley Jr. is going to get paid $9 million and he sucks.
Yes,
I don't agree with this. And they are not spending money. They spend right up to the luxury tax, which every other team in baseball did except for the Dodgers. No one went above the tax because they knew the CBA was coming down and they wanted to stay out of the tax. I don't even necessarily fault them for that. It's very easy to get on John Henry for not spending money because he just bought the fucking Penguins. I get that. And if that continues, I'll rip them for it. But right now, this offseason's not over. They've been locked out. We have to wait until see what they have to do after this. We'll get into the stupid fucking deals they've made up until this point. If this is where it ends, then
let's talk about money they've spent this offseason. Come on. Let's see what they've spent money fucking on. James Paxton at $10 million this year. Come on.
the idea that that the Red Sox
I fucking hate this team.
are not spending money is wrong. You just don't like the way they're spending money. They are still spending money. They've spent money every single year John Henry has owned the team. You're just not liking the way they spend their money because you didn't get the big flashy guys.
Richard, if I have $300 million in my pocket, I am not going to a Walmart, a Target, or a fucking dollar store. Okay? If I have the luxury to sign the biggest fucking guys on the goddamn market that would bring you a World Series now without hurting your building capability through the prospects in the game now. Okay. Hunter Renfroe was worth more to a team with the reliever. I'm telling you.
I'm with you on this a little bit, Bill, but don't base your argument on fucking Hunter Renfroe.
No, I'm not basing it on him, but I'm basing it on the fact that you could have got more. If you could have got more in a trade to get an impact player this year that will help you win a fucking World Series.
Oh, and that's what it is. That. He's a 29-year-old strikeout home run hitter. What do you think you're getting from him?
He's 27. Try again.
I don't think that's true.